So here's a little bit of micro help just to kind of clarify what was going on. So the idea behind the micro stuff is take urine, which obviously isn't real because I just want to show you demonstration purposes here. But pretending this were real urine, we have these plates that we can use to streak out these cultures. And so what we would do is we would take one of these loops, and they come in different sizes and they might be different colors, but you can tell one is bigger than the other. And we take these loops and we dip them in the urine, and if you can see, and technically we're not supposed to have bubbles there, but you can see that that loop itself holds a certain amount of urine in that loop. And then we would take that loop and we would streak it across a plate and then identify, sorry, I was off the camera there, identify what sort of organisms are growing on that plate. And we can also count the different colonies that are growing there. So the idea is every little colony that forms from this quantity of urine represents a total number of colony forming units per milliliter. Now we obviously know that that's not a milliliter, and so we need to determine from this small amount how many colony forming units we would have in each milliliter. Same idea applies to the smaller guy. So the big one is a 10 microliter loop. My smaller one is a 1 microliter loop. And so the idea behind this is if I'm using a 10 microliter loop, every colony on my plate that forms or that grows out of this guy is going to represent 100 colony forming units for every milliliter. If I decide to use a 1 microliter loop or a 0.001 milliliter loop, then every single colony that grows from this tiny amount is going to represent 1,000 colony forming units per milliliter.